It's weird having to come on here and feel like I have to talk about this. As a black wrestling fan in 2019, it's weird for me feeling like I have to come on here and talk about stuff like this. Like, it's so incredible to me that we're still dealing with these types of racial insensitive comments and all this type of stuff going on in 2019, and racism is never going to go away, but in the wrestling community, it seems like it is just prevalent. It's like we just got off of this whole Jordan Miles situation. That's still fresh in everyone's head. They go straight into Jim Cornette talking about, what the hell was he talking about again?
Trevor Murdoch, he's mad, bad, and dangerous to know. He's the only man I've ever known that could strap a bucket of fried chicken on his back and ride a motor scooter across Ethiopia.
Like, honestly, yesterday, I was ready to come home, load up my camera, and I was ready to go in on Jim Cornette, NWA, and the entire wrestling community. But I'm like, no, Tyler, we're going to sleep. We're going to sleep on it, and we're going to do this video when I woke up. When I woke up, I was still pretty angry. And I was ready to, like, go in on everybody, and I'm like, nope. Gonna do some other videos. We're gonna think about it, think about exactly how I want to structure this, because most of the time when I go into these videos, I don't have a script. I don't have a script today, so I'm not, it's just off the top of my head what I feel like right now. Whatever I come across is just how I'm gonna come across, I guess. Jim Cornette has said racist, sexist, transphobic, and homophobic things in the past. So I don't understand how anybody's really shocked that he would say something like this. I was honestly kind of shocked that NWA even employed him to be on commentary, given the things he's said about people in the past. I mean, take account all of his opinions on wrestling and how it should be, and this dude lives in the fucking 1970s. In his outlook on how the wrestling industry should be. I know you're stuck in your own little NWA world where wrestling is just like how it used to be, how you used to like it. The sad fact of the matter is, as soon as you walk out of those doors, as soon as you walk out of those studios, you're getting slapped in the face with 2019 wrestling. It's spotty, it's gory, it's just what it is. That's just what wrestling is in 2019. You're going to have to accept it, or you go online and fucking talk shit about it. That's what YouTubers do nowadays anyway. But to go into your work, I mean, if you have your own opinions and you keep it in your head, if you have racist, insensitive, whatever thoughts, keep them in your head. Tell your close friends who you think aren't going to tell anybody. Talk about it on your podcast. That's your brand, whatever. But to go on live TV, and I know it's not TV because it's YouTube, but to go on TV, to go to your job and say stuff like that, you gotta be a whole nother level of fucking stupid and just completely ignorant. And then NWA, you're even worse. You had time. You had a month. They were pre-recorded all this stuff about a month or two ago. They had all the time in the world to cut this shit out of the programming. They had all the time in the world. I edit my own videos. I understand here and there you make slip-ups, and sometimes in middle editing you miss stuff. But when you're on a broader audience, when you're broadcasted to hundreds, and NWA Power, when it first started, it garnered like hundreds of thousands of views. You had a whole wrestling community talking about this program. When you have that much of a following and that many people watching your program, you gotta be very, very, very careful what you leave on your channel. And the fact of the matter is that for whatever reason, I highly doubt that they just, for some reason, somehow managed to not realize that he said that they had to have known he said that, and they either A, didn't feel like cutting the shit out, or thought it was perfectly fine and just left it in there. Either way, it still made it on air, and everyone made a hoop about it. Deservedly so. Then there was a video that surfaced about Jim Cornette way back in the day, dropping the N-word, calling people niggers and shit. I'm just like,
Brian Matthews, that's when Brian Matthews walks by. I says, what do you want me to do? I said, I said, get that fucking nigger out of here. That's what I want you to do. Whoa, but he heard nigger. Boy, now he's double tight. I said, yes, that's right, goddammit. Because if I see something make somebody mad, and it's somebody that I want to make mad, I will work on that. Matthews says stuff to me, I say, get the fucking nigger out of here. That's what I want you to do. Well, that goes for me. I said, fine. Fuck you, yes, you are a nigger. You see another one around here.
Oh, okay. See, now, I've never been a fan of Jim Cornette. I never have been. And at this point, never will be a fan of Jim Cornette. But I never actually seen or heard of this video of him actually going out and saying the N-word the way he was. I don't know what was the action, what was the story behind what was said back in the day. That was back in the day. He still fucking said it. But in 2019 to talk about fried chicken and black people in Ethiopia, he didn't say the black people part, but running through, and I feel bad for Trevor Murdoch, who was dragged into this little tidbit he was talking about. But talking about strapping a bucket of fried chicken onto Trevor Murdoch and him riding through Ethiopia. And I heard some people trying to defend like, oh, but it was a joke. Shut the fuck up with the whole, oh, it was a joke. People don't understand. He could have said any other country. He could have said any other food. But this dude said fried chicken riding through Ethiopia, a country in Africa that is mainly populated by people of my skin complexion. And people of my skin complexion are racially profiled and stereotyped, and part of the food that goes into the racial stereotyping is fried chicken. So connect the dots here. There's no way there was no racial implications in this joke. And for the people who say, oh, he's just being a heel, fuck out of here with that. He's just being a heel shit. I can't stand when people masquerade the he's being a heel or it's a work as reasons to be a fucking asshole. I'm talking about the assholery, like being homophobic and sexist. Like, you don't get a pass to be sexist and homophobic and racist because you're hiding behind a character. You don't get a pass for that. You don't get a pass for that. Could you imagine showing up to a Halloween party with a KKK costume on and saying, oh, but it's Halloween? And you thought that was okay? Because it's... Yeah, someone did that this year, actually. And you saw what happened in the clip? They got punked out. They almost got beat the fuck up. You don't do shit like that. That's not funny. That is history right there. People have been fucking killed over that shit. People talk all the time about, oh, let's cancel this guy and let's deplatform this guy. But these are the same people who will go on their YouTube channel, who will go on our podcast, and they will look forward to the next time that Jim Cornette has something to say because they know it will drum up buzz. But for the consumers, but for the viewers that line up at the door to hear what Jim Cornette has to say next. Or I can't wait to see what Jim Cornette has to say about the next Marco Stunt match. Or I can't wait to see what Jim Cornette has to say about Sonny Kiss and Nyla Rose and what's going on with this wrestler and that wrestler. You are a part of the problem. You are fueling this man's will to want to say shit like this. If he doesn't have a platform that he can't say anything like this, but you give him ammo. People who will hate Jim Cornette, who watch Jim Cornette, who go on their Twitter and tweet about, oh, fuck Jim Cornette and this and that. Guess what? Here's the fact and truth of the matter is that he lives rent-free in your mind because you give him that ammo. You think Jim Cornette gives a flying fuck about any of you people out there? He really does not. All of you people who have all this negative shit to say about Jim Cornette and stay listening to him as if you listening and commenting your hatred is somehow going to rally everybody in the entire universe behind you to boycott Jim Cornette, you are nothing but a penny, nickel, and dime in his pocket. If you really want to make an impact, then stop talking, stop listening, and stop doing anything that has anything remotely to do with Jim Cornette. I can't stand the people who talk about cancel culture every single day, but then do the exact opposite of what it should take to cancel somebody. Stop giving him your energy. Put your energy somewhere else. This is what I don't understand about people. They put so much of their energy into things they hate. It's part of the reason why I can't understand this wrestling community. Why everyone's like, oh, I can't stand Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Why the fuck do you watch every week then? My thing is, people tend to criticize things that they once upon a time liked or they want to see get better. Have you guys ever heard of the term, I'd rather be hated than ignored? It comes from a quote, indifference is the strongest force in the universe. And I say that because you have to put a lot of energy into hating something. If you hate something, once upon a time you had to have liked it or acknowledged it to actually hate it. You can't really hate something you've never experienced. You've had to experience it. I don't hate Raw or SmackDown. I just dislike it. But I've experienced Raw and SmackDown. I've been a fan of WWE since I was 5 years old. But the thing is, I still put some energy into it. Not because I want it to die, but because I secretly want the company to get better. I don't want to see WWE die off one day. I just want it to get better so that way maybe one day in the near future I could feel comfortable, I could feel safe, and I could feel proud watching this company again. That is why people put a lot of hatred into things that they once upon a time liked, but they don't want to give up on. That's why a lot of these YouTubers out here, they go online and they say fuck WWE and this and that, but they never stop watching. I've to a degree stopped watching, but I haven't completely stopped watching because I want to see it get better one day. But indifference, the act of just not caring about it anymore, can destroy it. Because if I were to say, you know what, I'm done with WWE, and I cancel my network subscription, which I already done already, and I stop watching Raw and clips of Raw and clips of SmackDown, and stop watching NXT, and stop watching the pay-per-views, and not care anything about any of the WWE wrestlers anymore, you know who that hurts? That hurts WWE. Because if I hate WWE enough to comment on them every single week and give them that acknowledgement, it's not hurting them. But me not putting money into their pockets hurts them. So what this wrestling community needs to do in 2020, what we need to do is we need to start showing indifference to things we don't like anymore. We need to stop throwing so much hatred and energy into everything we really don't want to. The things that you like are the things you want to succeed are different. The things you straight up just don't care about anymore. I don't care about Jim Cornette, so he's not getting any of my energy. I don't give a fuck. I have never followed him on Twitter. I never will follow him on Twitter. I'll never watch another video of his again. I'm done listening to this man. I'm done hearing about this man. So what all of you need to do is just stop caring. And put your energy that you hate into Jim Cornette, and some of you who hate NWA right now, put it in another company, put it in another person. Cancel culture, my ass. You're about to become the indifference culture, I swear to God. I'm going to end this video right here. I don't know what else to say. With that being said, about to get ready to record this next episode of All Elite and watch AEW Dynamite and NXT tonight, because those are things I like to put energy into, things that I actually like to watch and like to do. And you guys should follow suit. We gotta be better in 2020, guys. Hashtag wise up, marks. We gotta reshape the word mark and how people perceive us, because right now it's not a good look. It really isn't.